Hi, everyone. Catherine Longi here from GIFEW, the Global Institute for Evolving Women, on the most exciting day of the year, International Women's Day. And here at GIFEW, every day of the year is International Women's Day. And I'm here with international women from Slovakia, Canada, US, and UK to celebrate together. So in a minute, I'm going to ask each of these evolving and extraordinary women to introduce themselves and to share about a woman in their lives who's made a tremendous impact to them, to others, to the world, and what it is that makes these women evolving and extraordinary. So ladies, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourselves and sharing, who are you celebrating on this International Women's Day 2020?
Well, thank you, Catherine. I will go first. My name is Marie Soprovich, and I'm live from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And today, thinking about International Women is a really, it's a great gift for us to be able to express what's going on and who these amazing women were. And for me, it was about defining two groups. And one of them really was my sisters. I grew up in a family, there were 5 girls. And the qualities of having sisters that I could be real and feel safe and comfortable with, to share and learn from. A huge growth, inspired and influenced by them. Certainly, I think it met those basic needs of belonging, safety, and a place to show up without a lot of judgment around it. So I am so ever grateful for my sisters, whom I treasure deeply. Linda, Carol, Louise, Trudy, you know who you are. And that's my first base of women who've influenced me. And then I think about women in my work world who really saw something in me and gave me a space to show up in a bigger capacity than I might have stepped into had they not said, Marie, this is time for, try this out, go for it, you've got what it takes. And I think one of my greatest mentors, a dear friend, is Mary Michaelides, who was a principal at a school where I was a film coordinator and a language arts teacher. And she, through her encouragement and her big picture view of the world, I really opened up a whole bunch of possibilities for me. So today I'm celebrating my sisters and the women friends in my work world in particular, and my dear friend Mary. So thank you for this wonderful.
Oh, wonderful, Marie. And I love, like, what I hear in your sharing is a combination of sisterhood, family, community, and really like a grassroots movement of women who have inspired you and created this wonderful community around you. And like, for me, you're my sister, even though we've only physically met up in real life like twice, I think. And I just love our GIFEW Constellation for that very reason, that it feels like across borders and time zones that we have this amazing sisterhood. And Andrea, I know you're going to share about one of our sisters in the constellation. Tell us who you are and who's the lady that inspires you.
That's so true. So hello, everyone. My name is Andrea Titalova, and I am from Slovakia, currently based in Prague. So international, so great to be with my sisters on this call and speaking to other sisters. And yes, my woman that inspires me is Tatiana Benkova, who is a co-founder of GIFEW with her sister Bea. And why? Because Tatiana has been the most evolutionary stand for me in my life. She's my best friend, my soul sister, and someone that I look up to, because she inspires me to be grounded, to really master myself, to be stronger, and to be nature woman. And also she shows me a lot of joy of life and how to be joyful with every single moment. She has given me, although very hard feedbacks, very often, I think the hardest I've ever received, which is so important if you have a woman that is inspiring for you. But also as the mother of 2 and a wife, she also has brought the whole family to my life, her family and her 2 wonderful children. As a fashion expert, she also has transformed my personality, how I look, and how I show up in the world. As in my CrossFit sparring partner, she has always pushed my limits and very often has overwhelmed me because she has amazing figure as well. But notably as like evolutionary often, even if I am thousands of kilometers away, or if I am just walking with her tiny family dog that they just put to. So I really cannot imagine my life without her, without you, and without her sister Bea as well. And this is an amazing opportunity that we can share this. So thank you, Catherine.
Yeah, thank you, Andrea. I love that you mentioned Tinka and that sometimes in your life she's given you feedback that was very direct and very confronting. And I think a lot of times we think of sisterhood or female empowerment as like we've got to be cheerleaders and it's all about, like bringing each other up. And actually, it's much more effective when we have a balance. We call them social vitamins. When we have a balance between the challenge, the reflect, the support, when we can over rely on support. So thank you for sharing our Tatiana with the world and for getting us all present to what an extraordinary woman she is. So thank you. And Wendy from Canada, who are you celebrating? Who are you and who are you celebrating today?
Catherine, thank you so much for this opportunity, because I just don't think I publicly get enough opportunity to let people know who I celebrate. I come from a really large family. So when I started thinking about this, I'm like, oh, my mom. And then I'm like, I'm an identical twin. I was born 2 minutes ahead of my sister. Oh, not just my sister, my twin sister, but then my other sisters. And then I think of, I have 3 daughters. And then from those 3, I have 7 granddaughters. So you can see my life is like so full with women, and then other women who are friends and who I work with that I actually also feel like they're sisters, right? But who I'm really, in thinking of all that, I thought, my mom was the foundation for not just my life, but literally life in community. So for all of us, like all my friends would come and talk to my mom, and all of the community. My mom did huge things for community. And so I'm celebrating my mom, and who my mom was for me, honestly, was the greatest person that I could see that actually delivered love into the world, no matter what circumstances there were. Like, she literally was love. And then who I say I am, from having a mom that loved that much, and I'm not talking about like sacrificing. My mom also told you when, no, that doesn't work, Wendy, like things like that. But she did it in love. And so who I say I am is love. And I really get that my mom, if I always think, how could I be like love like my mom? And then give that out to the world. And my daughters also too, they teach me. And the love from my mom to my children and my granddaughters, I think is always taught back to me as well. Because they like, I love you, Grammy, or I love you, Mom. And I love them. And I love you all. So that's it. Yeah, it was about love.
We love you too. And you are a big vehicle of love, having produced 7 children. How many grandchildren?
Well, I have 6 kids and 8 grandkids.
6 kids, 8 grand.
But my immediate family, if you just counted my immediate family, I think there's something like 75 or 76 of us. Yeah, with spouses and children. Mm-hmm. It's big.
Yeah, you really are love. And there's so much evidence. So much evidence for you and your family and the love you are in the world. That's brilliant. Thank you, Wendy. And who I'm celebrating, so I'm Catherine, the Director of Communication here at GIFEW, and my stand is for female leadership and empowerment. And I'm celebrating a woman who, now that I've heard your shares, actually, she occurs to me like a sister, a mother, a grandmother, and I believe maybe not a grandmother, but she is most of those things, but she actually feels that real to me. And her name is Marianne Williamson. There's many ways that you could describe her. She is an author, she is a spiritual leader, she is an entrepreneur. Up until a few months ago, she was a candidate for President of the United States. And why I've chosen her is that for me, like you were sharing, Wendy, she really occurs to me like true love. And she's like a universal, like out in the universe expression of true love. And her vehicle for love is her voice. giving voice to spiritual truths that need to be awakened in the world, that aren't, that she comes from the future. And I believe she's a woman ahead of her time, and is a woman who, like, one day in 10, 20 years, like, we'll look back on this time and we'll understand. Like, we'll have caught up, like, humanity will have caught up to her message. Like, she'll have fulfilled on transformation of humanity. And then she'll seem like, today she maybe seems like a bit wacky or a bit out there, but she speaks from this deep universal truth that if we tune into our hearts and our souls and who we are as human beings, and shut off the noise that goes on up here, we'll all awaken. And we'll all do things differently, and the world will look like a very different, inspiring place. And we'll be able to tell our grandchildren, like, hey, we were alive during that time, and we made a difference, you know. And she's, for me, a real leader in this movement. So yeah, is there anything you ladies would like to kind of add on, now that we've heard each other's, you know, now that we've heard each other's, like, share, and who we're celebrating, or like what you've heard from our sharing?
I'd like to add this. In one of my women in my life, she had a post on Facebook, and she said, International Women's Day, I'll celebrate it when all women are free. And I was really struck by that. You know, there is a celebration of who we love, and then actually to consider what is, you know, and it's okay to celebrate or to not celebrate. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying, like, just to be really speaking to what you were talking about with Marianne Williamson, to be very, very conscious of the celebration and the lifting each other up together and being conscious together is really one of the purposes that we as human beings came here for, I believe.
I agree.
Amazing.
And what I add is the power that we have within ourselves to be the role models for others, to inspire others, to be the change we wish to seek in the world, and to deliver it, and to find the sparks in other women, and to really fan that flame with all that we've got. I think that's our greatest gift that we can give to one another, is to truly recognize the divine in form. Here we are on the planet. Let's get our work done, and let's work together and really support each other, so that we find our courage and our voice, and we get in the game and have that kind of impact. So that's what I think is the message for today in my world.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I think your dog agrees.
Yeah.
Yes, dog agrees.
Your dog hears us and is like, yes, what they said, the ladies said. So now I would love to hear who you're celebrating for International Women's Day this year. Who are the women that inspire you, or who's a woman in particular that inspires you, and what is it about that woman or women that's made a difference in your life? And let's just get epic sharing on this post. Let's make International Women's Day go viral. So anyway, lots of love to our GIFEW fans and community. Happy International Women's Day 2020, and we'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.
Great.
Bye.
Bye. Rest of your day.